started.
Hello, I'm Emmie, and we're doing Astrology 101 for the workshop. So I'm the Star Weaver for Temple of the Night Shadow. I graduated Mabon 2024, and my pronouns are she, her. So I will try not to do so much talking, so it'll be a little more interactive, because I think that's more fun. But a brief introduction into astrology for people who know nothing about it. Essentially, it's the study of the stars and how it affects us and the things around us. And this is a practice that has been done since, as far as we know, the Babylonian times. But it's potentially likely that it's been done before that. I really wanted to do this workshop mainly to kind of erase some misconceptions. So I hear oftentimes like people are focused on their sun sign, and there's so much more to you and your birth chart than just your sun sign. And so that's kind of what we're exploring today. It just gets me so annoyed when I hear people criticize certain signs and stereotype certain signs, because oftentimes it's misunderstood and just not well known. So also, all of these signs serve a purpose in your chart. So if you're talking bad about Scorpios, you're talking bad about yourself, because everyone has zodiac influence in their chart. The whole sun sign concept literally just came about because newspapers wanted to report on astrology. It was a popular topic in the Victorian time, but there was not enough space in the newspaper to do, sun sign, moon sign, rising sign, all of this stuff. So they summarized it down to a sun sign, and that's kind of how the stereotype got today, where now everyone talks about sun sign. So for the skeptics, I promise you there's something you can take away from this. You can see this as kind of a foundation to self-exploration. So even if you don't believe in the celestial bodies are actually influencing you in your life, this can kind of target areas that maybe you want to work on or improve on. So anyway, so on your handouts, the analogy is to a recipe. And I did this because astrology is a very complex topic, and there's so many things that interact with each other, and it really just ends up kind of like cooking a dish. So everyone already did step one, which is preheat your oven, or in other words, get your birth chart or natal chart. And so I recommend doing it on astroseek.com. It's a free service, and you can do the exact date of birth, exact time of birth, and the location of birth. Those are the three really key information you need to cast a chart. If you don't have your time of birth, you can still cast a chart, but you won't know any of your houses. That's kind of how it works. And there's also a special subfield of astrology that helps people narrow down what their birth time actually is. And that's a different type of chart casting. So, questions so far? Nope? Cool.
I like the baking analogy.
Thank you. I was hoping it resonated a bit. Okay, so there's three major parts to your birth chart, and then there's extras that kind of like add more flavor and depth to the reading. Those three are the planets, the signs, and the houses. And so those are going to be your step 2, 3, and 4. You can do a pretty solid reading of a natal chart just using this information. So that's the core of what we're focusing on. So the planets, unlike your normal science class, we do include the sun and the moon as a part of our planet list. And Pluto is a planet. He's always been a planet. Yeah, Team Pluto.
Right.
Yeah. So we have those. You'll notice to the side, I have all of the signs, the symbols for those. Kind of looks mysterious when you see it on your birth chart, but it's just symbols representing the planets. The last row is Chiron, the lunar nodes, and Lilith. So Chiron and Lilith are actually asteroids. They're popular to delve into. I do list Chiron on the cheat sheet because it's mainly associated with wounds and healing. So those interested in shadow work tend to like to explore that sign, or sorry, that planet in particular. The lunar nodes, I'll talk a little bit, actually I read tonight about that, but the lunar nodes are north and south node. The north node is the point where the moon transitions in its orbit northward, relative to the Earth, and then the south node is when it travels southward relative to the Earth. So everything in astrology is relative to the Earth. Okay. So each planet has energies, and this is kind of like your main ingredients. So your sun is your core or your identity. The moon is your emotions, typically seen as your hidden self. It's all listed on here, but your rising sign, which you'll see in your chart as ascendant, that is how you express yourself outwardly. And then the rest I can let you read a little more in depth about, but we have, I guess, like popular ones people explore are Mercury for communication. Mars is listed as drive and willpower, but there's also a conflict component, so how you handle conflict. Saturn is our tough teacher, and so that's also a good point to look if you're interested in shadow work. And Pluto is transformation, power, rebirth, and death planet. So, questions on planets or asteroids? Yes.
We talked a little bit about Chiron and nodes, but Lilith?
I actually am not too familiar with the Lilith yet. That's why I did not. But yes, I am researching eventually. Other questions? No?
How is ascending indicated on the chart?
There's an arrow pointing up.
It also might be listed as ASC. It's typically on the leftmost side of your chart. It's the thicker black line.
And so is that line pointing towards the...
What do the lines mean?
The dotted lines?
Like any of the lines.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. We'll get to that.
Okay.
Where?
The ascendant is this ASC. There.
Oh. Okay.
Yep.
Capricorn ascending.
Yes, you're Capricorn ascending.
Okay.
Other questions? Okay, the next one is mixing with the signs. So this is your style and flavor. So the planets are kind of our what, and the sign is kind of like how we express that. So a good example is like, let's take Mars for example. It's kind of like our driving planet, how we act and gain motivation. So someone who has Mars in Aries might act quickly and boldly, while Mars in Scorpio acts with intensity but strategy. So it's like seasoning. It's the same ingredient but comes across with different flavors based on the spice. And then once again, here's your symbols. And I'm sure a lot of you already know some signs. We have our one Taurus sun here today. Does anyone have favorite signs? Or signs that you resonate with? Yeah.
I mean, mine's pretty obvious.
Aquarius?
Aquarius, yeah.
Yeah. Why do you resonate with Aquarius?
Because if one were to read my birth chart, I have a ton in Aquarius.
That's fair.
But a lot of the qualities attributed to Aquarius in different aspects, like not only like ascending and sun, they hit pretty close.
Yeah. Makes
because
sense.
I have so many in it.
I have a lot in the Libra.
Makes
Yeah.
I resonate a lot with Leo.
Okay.
You know, very expressive, dramatic. It's me.
It's yeah, I like Leo. It's like the show stopper.
Yeah.
Actually, it's kind of funny that a lot of actors have Leo like in a prominent place in their chart. So
Yeah.
Yes.
What does it mean if I don't have a Taurus?
So your Taurus will still be in your chart, but it may not have influence on a planet, but it will have influence over your house. So whatever house Taurus is like governing, that's the energy kind of placed into it.
Okay.
Any empty spots on your chart are likely places of maybe not as important to you. Like, I think it's kind of cool in our temple, a lot of people, is it the second or third house? Let me not misspeak. Yes, it's the second house. Money is empty for a lot of people, and that's just, material possessions aren't really our thing. That's kind of cool. Anyway.
I
Yeah.
don't know if I'm jumping ahead, but like, so with like tarot, with a lot of things, you kind of have the reverse, the shadow, the opposite.
Yes.
Are there that within this? Because like everything kind of seems like witty, fiery, not like
Are you not philosophical?
fiery. It's
Yes.
fiery. So like, is there kind of that
Really
negative?
discuss
For
the
sure.
differences between
So,
Spinoza's
every
and,
zodiac
Hegelian
sign
philosophy then.
has kind of like a positive expression and a negative expression. I just don't like calling
I
them
majored in
those because
philosophy.
it has like, it seems like
I was
bad
just being an asshole.
negativity, you know? But sometimes it's just, you know, your life experiences that change the expression of the zodiac. So Leos sometimes can be seen, like the confidence can slip into narcissism sometimes. That's not guaranteed. Geminis are sometimes stereotyped as being super two-faced. Libras are stereotyped as being like really indecisive. But, you know, it kind of stems from the positive aspects. Also, there is a whole art of your shadow chart where you can see like it's a reflection of your natal chart, and that's another type of chart casting that's really cool. And that kind of shows a lot more of the, you know, negative or darker sides.
Opposite sides.
Yeah, opposite sides. Cool. Good. Okay, the last super big component is your houses. And there's 12 houses that make up the whole chart. And this is like where. So your planet is kind of what. The zodiac sign is how. And this is the where part. And so this is where in your life the planetary expression comes out. So first house is typically the self or appearance. Second house, money. Third house, communication. Fourth house is your home or roots. Fifth is creativity, romance. Sixth, health and work habits, and so on and so forth. I did not put it on here, but there is an interesting thing where, depending which type of astrology you're looking at, this comes from a Western astrology perspective. The fourth house could represent your parental figure, and the 10th house can represent your maternal figure. Those can be flipped in other types of astrology. So, essentially, I kind of view them both as like parental houses. So just, I guess, generalize. So by examining this in terms of your houses, you're like arranging your meal on your plate now. Now you're seeing where everything fits together. So yes.
When I look at the star charts you made, or you had us make, where do I see the houses in those?
Let me see yours.
I think it's where you go to the planets and you have all
Is
these
that- I
planet
just didn't-
signs with the ascendancy at the bottom.
Yeah. Did you have your birth time?
Yes. I might have just not taken a photo of it.
Yeah.
Do not scroll through my photos.
Sorry, no, I'm not. I was just tapping it before it went away. I actually think I have yours. Because yours is interesting to look at.
I am excited and concerned.
There's a lot of like weird little niches in charts and patterns and things that sometimes are rare, so I like looking at those.
She's said a lot of people's are interesting.
I'm just interested in a lot of
Yeah.
shit. This is yours
Oh.
that has the houses on it.
Thank you.
Oh, yours is similar actually. Anyway,
What?
both of your charts are similar.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But
Cool.
I don't know about signs, just shape-wise, similar.
I'm a Scorpio. I think I'm an atypical Scorpio.
A lot of Scorpios say that.
Because I'm a Scorpio too.
Really?
It's a triple Scorpio.
Yeah.
She is the least stereotypically Scorpio person I've ever met.
I think Scorpio is just a misunderstood sign, personally.
Yeah,
I
they get
love
a
Scorpio.
very bad rep
Yeah.
a lot of the time.
That's why I'm like Brit.
The reason I say I think I'm atypical is because it's usually associated with sexuality. I'm ace.
Yeah.
Honestly.
It's also like,
That's Sagittarius too, and I'm like,
Really?
no.
Oh my gosh.
You look like somebody that has 3 signs of Scorpio.
him?
Yeah.
What happens
he
if a
may
house
look like
is
it, but
empty?
he's not like that at all.
Yeah, he looks like he would.
Yeah.
What happens if a house is empty?
You still have influence because you have a sign assigned to that house, but it's probably not a super important aspect of your life. You probably have bigger things that you focus on.
You mentioned a house that a lot of people in this temple don't have represented
Yes.
prominently.
Mhm.
Second. Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot
Whose
of people.
house?
The second house. Oh. Okay, other questions on houses? Has anyone is this your first time hearing about houses and concept of zodiac? Well, most of you guys are. I burden you with this every day, so
Hi.
This is my first time hearing about it in depth.
Yeah, like
Okay.
I've known you, like you've said it. It's like, yeah, yours is interesting, but I don't know what it means.
Yeah.
Now it seems like I have a fun way to kind of place things together. And
Yeah, we're starting to get. Yeah, so I'm gonna talk a little bit about step 5 and step 6, but I'm not gonna go super in depth, and then we'll go into actual hands-on delving into your charts. The reason I'm not going super in depth is because while I think aspects and chart patterns are super important and help you delve, it's kind of you need to understand the base first with the planet, zodiac house, and then you can start adding on these different things. So the aspects are all those weird lines you see in the center of your chart. Sometimes they're color-coded, sometimes they're not. Astrology also provides a really handy kind of pyramid type, stair type structure in the bottom left. And that's also your aspect chart, and that will tell you what planet has what aspect with who. So aspects show how things blend, contrast, or challenge each other. And I find when I examine aspects, the challenge part really stands out the most. It really is the fighting forces between the two. And so recipe-wise, this is like pairing things with food and drink. So conjunctions normally are 2 ingredients with the same flavor type. So they blend together really nicely. So conjunctions are typically good, and they boost each other's kind of energy. Conjunctions are found when planets are in the same sign and kind of expressing the same values. Typically, we call something a conjunction if it's within 2 to 10 degrees of the sign or of the other planet. Your chart will probably give you degrees if you scroll down, and the trine is also a really positive thing. I should say the conjunctions represented by the circle with the little line sticking out of it with the tail. That's your conjunctions. Trines are your triangles in your chart. These are naturally harmonious pairings that enhance each other. So while they may not have the same flavor, they do complement each other really well. All aspects have to do with degrees, essentially. It's the degrees of separation between. Trine is 30 degrees, so on and so forth. The sextiles are the lighter complementary pairings that add a subtle boost. I can't remember the sign off the top of my head. I recognize it if I see it, but the symbol is there. And the squares are probably what you hear most people talk about if they're talking about aspects. That's because these are the clashing of flavors. And so I like this description, that the clash of flavors create a sharp contrast, challenging but exciting. Oftentimes people see squares as like a really bad sign in their chart, because it is typically a point of where the planets are challenging each other and kind of headbutting each other. They're not working in harmony at that point. But it also provides a really interesting place to grow and hone your knowledge in that area. We also have oppositions, and those are the ones that are completely opposite sides of the chart. Those are the ones that they really need balance in order to work together, and oftentimes you'll experience a lot of life issues or communication issues with those oppositions. The square is the actual square in the staircase thing, and then the oppositions are the two circles that have a line between. Thank you. Aspects. I know that was a lot. Questions?
This little thing is.
Yeah,
That's
the star.
The star.
The little it looks like an asterisk with 6 lines. Is the sextile symbol.
And so, what's the little H looking thing? And the
What
two
is
lines?
H?
I may have missed it. What's the MC?
I didn't go over that.
The main character?
Do you see it?
Yeah, I do see it. I had no idea.
Okay, great.
Surprise!
There are also those 2 black lines.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh,
Okay.
I can look into it. Or, oh, that had something to do with the retrogrades, but yeah. Other aspect questions? It's a lot. It's a whole thing. Like, it's a whole subdivision of astrology is just learning aspects. Essentially, like, if you really want to know, yes.
Well, sorry, you can finish your.
Oh, if you really want to like get a little more snippet into a planet, the things that stand out the most are the conjunctions and the squares. You can kind of mentally mark that as conjunction is like both of those planets are really good energy.
Someone knocking?
No, they're
Oh,
Oh.
cooking. Oh.
they're dumping stuff into the trash can probably.
And then the squares are the clashing planets, the places of conflict. So if you really want to add aspects into your reading, those would be the 2 that I would focus on.
So, here, can you look at mine? You already have it on there.
Yeah.
Just, this is, I know, yes, small piece, but my sun, which is my identity, my vitality, is Virgo, which is analytical, precise, practical, thoughtful, is in house 10, which is career and public image. Now that I have all of these, like, descriptors, what do I do?
Yeah, that's a good point. I'm gonna get to that.
Okay.
I swear. Okay. I just have one more thing. Other questions about aspects? No? Okay. The last one I put is notice patterns. And this is kind of what you're talking about. So your real readings are going to come from those patterns and things that you notice. And everyone has kind of like a different kind of roundabout way. I really try to find like, I see every component as a piece of evidence. And you're kind of building a case, I guess. And you want to have like 3 pieces of evidence before you make a claim. So, like you'll get all these descriptors for your sun, for example, and that talks about your core. But then like also your moon, for example, that's your inner self. Your ascendant's your outer self, and you kind of want to look at things like more together and kind of look over matching themes and repetitions. So if you see a lot of like analytical, you're analytical in your thoughts, you're analytical in your communication, you're analytical in love, you know, that's probably an analytical thinker.
So is that why, even though I am a Virgo sun, I identify more with like the fire sign because
Yep.
I have so much fire in my chart?
Exactly.
Okay.
There's so when I first look at a chart, before I even delve into it, I look at the like weight. And what I consider the weight is like can I show your chart but not show the planets?
Yeah.
This is Jeremy's chart, if you guys can see.
Oh.
And you can see it's very heavily weighted to the left side. And so that's kind of like a mental note I take. All of the houses on that side tend to relate to self, friends, community, not so much like possessions, work, that kind of stuff. So I would already kind of have in my brain like, okay, he's probably more of like either a social person or someone who values community and family, and that's the most important things in his life, kind of thing. But then you start digging deeper into finding more evidence. So another place to find weight is, as Oakley was saying, the dominant elements. So AstroSeek also provides your element weights. So if you have a ton of fire signs, you probably express more fire. If you have no water signs, that's probably an area you struggle in and might need some more balance in, vice versa. So there's a fancy word called stelliums. Basically, if there's 3 or more planets in one sign or house, that is the that's the house and sign I'm looking at. Because that tells me that's like a big weight point in your chart. So, and then repeated themes across houses and aspects. So, as you dig deeper into your chart, you'll start hearing a lot of the same things. Like, I did a deep dive into T's chart, for example, and just over and over and over again was coming up with values on higher education, intellect, challenging like academia, that kind of stuff. So that was something I instantly was like, this is an important aspect in your life, you know? And then my last little thing is your natal chart is never finished. So every time you revisit your chart, you're going to learn different things, especially as you delve more into astrology.
Question.
Yes.
I know recently there was like Earth got a new moon, right?
Yes.
Was that affect anything going on?
Not right now, but there has been changes to astrology science throughout the ages based on like cosmic shifts essentially. And so
I mean, the discovery of Pluto.
yeah, the discovery of the outer planets in general changed the way that we interpreted things. So that might have an effect in the future when we learn more about it, but because we don't know shit, like, you know, we don't know how it's affecting us in our lives yet. Long story short, yeah.
One of the things I've learned from you is that, contrary to what some people act like, astrology is not essentialist. It's sort of a foundation for people to act on.
Foundation for what?
People to act on.
Yeah, thank you. I feel like that was something I should have, like, I think a lot of people look on their chart and it's like, oh, this says I'm vain, so I only will ever be vain. And I don't see birth charts that way. I see it as places to learn about yourself and use as stepping stones to improve yourself. And like Jeremy mentioned, there's kind of like these shadow sides and these lighter sides, and you can express these things in different ways. If you have trouble communicating, for example, that doesn't mean you'll always communicate bad. But you can also express the good side of it. It's just a matter of working with yourself and learning how to work with yourself. But
That's what I was wondering about some of these signs. None of them seem particularly negative.
okay, I wrote this and I wanted to put nice things because all y'all are self-deprecating and hate yourselves. So, am I wrong?
What
Wow.
what house is that in?
Yeah.
I know. You guys have a lot of empty ones, house ones. Anyway,
I mean,
I want to know the bad people.
I can tell you the bad stuff. All of these things have bad things associated. I just wanted to focus on the positives.
So what I'm understanding from what you said is this, you can kind of use your natal chart as a way to know how to work best with yourself.
Yes,
Okay.
that's what I think is the best use of it. Everyone has different ideas, of course. And of course, you guys know I do forecasting. That's kind of a different type of chart casting, But I think that's what drew me the most to astrology was I'm a black and white thinker, a very logical thinker. I need structure and how to work on things. I need something actionable, and mental health is hard. And I feel like this provided a really good structure to be like, oh, hey, I don't have a lot of fire. My communications really sucks. Maybe I should tap a little more into that. How do I do that? Anyway, How many of you did your astrology week already? 2? 3? Oh, yeah, 3.
Wait,
Did you do your astrology
I don't
week?
think so.
It's the tail end of studies, so.
Yeah.
It's at the very end.
Who's in my- is there anyone in my group?
Which are you?
Uh,
Are you?
Winters.
Yeah,
Yule.
I'm
Boom.
Yule.
All right, so
You guys are
we haven't done it
close.
yet, have we?
No, we have not.
All right.
It's like week 48. I
Yeah.
I mean, it could be like also in the backlog of homework.
Jeremy.
What
Anyway.
do you do?
I don't think I lost the backlog of homework check last night with Phoenix, but I don't know if we got the winner.
The winner?
What?
The
What?
winner of
Well, you were
Who's Behind.
checking to see who had the worst backlog of homework
Well, I
last
got
night.
distracted. I didn't finish that.
I
Oh,
know.
that's,
You shouldn't have reminded him. But
yeah, thanks
So-
for that, Jeremy.
Teacher, do we have homework?
yes.
I mean, my teacher gave me homework, and I was like, I'm on a
Um,
school trip.
Okay, anyway, I ask because week 48 is one that I get a lot of questions on, which I'm very grateful for. But to give you kind of like an idea, you guys are going to have to read your natal charts and describe them. There's 2 big methods of structuring this, and I'll let you guys decide which one you choose. Don't let me, I'm not even going to say which one I do because I don't want to influence the thought, but you can either do it planet-wise or you can do it house-wise. So planet-wise is you're pretty much following this recipe sheet almost exactly. You're going to start with your planet. You're going to find its zodiac sign expression. You're going to find the house it belongs into. And then you're going to smush that all together. And you can add the little extras if there's squares in there or, you know, if your chart's a little weighted, that kind of thing. House-wise, so even empty houses do impact your life. Like it tells me, you know, it's like the negative between things. Like the fact something's not there says something in general, you know? So I always encourage people, even if your house is empty, take a look. You know, it might be an area in your life that you're neglecting, or could be something that's just not important to you, they're not interested in. So then to do it the house way, you would go each house, and within each house, you would see each planet. And then you just restart this little recipe thing. Well, you'll go planet, zodiac, house. If there's no planets, then I typically write something like, oh, this is not an area of significance, or this is an area that could be using more work. Yeah.
So the 8th house is intimacy. The 7th house is like partnerships.
Yes.
So what kind of partnerships would those be?
Like your work partner, like, hey, we're in a business, we're partners,
It could,
we're just working together.
yeah, it's like people connections in general.
Brothership.
Friendship.
Oops.
Yeah.
I don't have that.
Acquaintanceship.
It's okay, I don't have home and roots.
I don't either.
Me neither, which I find weird because
I don't have that
I'm
or
close
career
to my
or
family.
public image.
These are not just, this is not everything.
Sure.
Remember the 4th house has to do with parental figures, just saying. Okay.
Oh, did you say the 10th house did too?
It depends on which astrology you're following. Yeah.
Okay, no matter what, I have nothing in either.
Yeah. But, yeah. Also, these are like 2 very, you know, simple ways of looking at it. These houses like have longer descriptions and you can study more in depth about it. Yeah, so anyway, you can do it planet way, planet, zodiac, house. House way is separate by house and then go planet, zodiac for each. And then your aspects. Questions on that? So, what,
Oh my god.
which of these life areas do you feel you want to learn more about yourself?
Right? Same.
I think I know the least about the houses and how they interact with other things.
Yeah.
Personally.
Yeah, that's fair. It's, yeah, I guess, well, also, if you guys look at my zodiac sheets, I do provide like a 1-word kind of theme for each of them if I pull them up.
Oh my freaking god.
I should have been setting a timer, I was not doing that.
I am missing fully 6 houses
We talked about it.
on my natal chart.
You're also heavily skewed, huh?
Yeah.
Yep.
Guess who doesn't have anything in number 2?
That's most of those, you know.
Yeah.
I actually do have something in number 2.
Where is my...
No, I didn't get those symbols on my chart.
Oh my god, why can I not find my astrology sheets? Where is that? Magic corner. There we go.
What's the sign that's a circle with an X through it?
Which one? Oh yeah, so the circle with an X is your part of fortune. That's kind of like your life purpose, essentially.
Do I have one of those?
Everyone does. It's one of those things. There's a lot that I didn't talk about because those are like a little. There's like the part of fortune with the X. There's the MC and IC, which is your top and bottom of your chart. There's a lot of extra little details.
So what does ascending mean again?
Ascending's how you like show yourself to others.
Okay.
Emmie, I'll ask you about this later, but I do not know what this sign means.
Okay.
And what does MC mean?
Oh gosh. It is a Latin word.
Okay.
Something.
Where's it say MC?
It should be at the top of your chart.
DJ. And MC's kind of like a DJ.
Yeah.
Master of ceremonies? That's where you're thinking of. But you're thinking of modus.
It essentially means midhaven is what MC stands for. It's midhaven, but it's the Latin word. Yes, thank you.
What?
Medium coeli, so something to do with sky.
Yeah, that's
Symbolizes
like
social
midhaven.
status, career, reputation, honors, fame, etc.
Yeah.
What is this one? Circle. Is that Pluto?
Anyway, I encourage each of you to pick
No.
a house to kind of delve into. Or a planet, if you guys feel in the planet vibe. And then we can kind of like share what we think. Yes.
On Dakota's birth chart, he has something that looks like a little sun and moon. Is that Pluto?
Yeah.
Okay.
That it kind of comes across as different sometimes.
Sure.
And different.
Pluto and my moon are opposites.
So basically, this is telling me that because my ascendant is in Leo, I'm
Information and power.
which is true.
I'm having a hard time figuring out where it starts for the houses because mine looks a little chaotic.
Yeah, so if you go to settings, you can actually get rid of a lot of like the aspects, for example. You can get rid of all of those to kind of be able to see better. I think that works better.
So these
Just
lines.
keep the conjunction, opposition, square, trine, and sextile. That's all I'll keep.
Emmie, I have questions.
Okay.
Does that look a little better? So if you zoom in, these dotted lines are going to separate your houses from each other.
And I see it now.
Sometimes your house will cross into multiple zodiac signs. That's normal. Yes, sir.
What do the lines mean again?
Which lanes?
All of these ones in the middle.
Those are aspects, and so depending, I don't think I didn't save the cube. I think the red are squares and the blue are trines for you because you have a shit ton of trines in your chart.
Well, wouldn't the Pluto and Moon be oppositions?
Oh yeah, that's probably opposition. I can recast your chart and see the actual things.
I love how yours gives more detail than mine.
Oh, I'm just scrolling down
thing
on
for
You're interested?
yeah.
Oh,
Be
Astro
interested.
chart.
I already looked up on ChatGPT and it wasn't very nice.
it wasn't nice.
It wasn't very informative. I mean,
Oh yes. What?
I have like half my planets in
Oh.
Sagittarius. I am peak Sag.
It does
Okay,
tell me
for the sake of the recording.
right
Or no, it doesn't matter. That's okay. Yeah, you can stop the recording.
Thank you, everyone.
thank you,
I-
Emmie.
yeah.
Clap,
I
clap, clap,
trust